This is gonna be NoLimit Proxiz versus 4 Wheels. And the reward for winning this match is getting second place in Division 1 and going straight into the semifinals of the playoffs. So good luck, have fun to the players, and we are off. Let's see who's gonna strike first in this one. So very tight start, of course, the players are all very close to each other, but Poker is the one who drops down just a bit. He's still fine though, but catches maybe a bit too much grass, so will continue to drop down. Right now it's still looking very good for NoLimit Proxiz, as they have Flyer in first. Very packed around, but Poker just has to release so much there, and he's kind of out of this one. This is a very close map, so any mistake like that is going to be very costly. Karian goes too much to the inside there, allows a Panda and Flyer to zoop up into the lead, and right now looking very good for NoLimit Proxiz as they hold strong with those two players in the lead. Now unless these two make any sort of mistake, it is going to be 1-0 for NoLimit Proxiz here. Now they have such a massive lead that the only thing they have to do is just take a safe jump into the finish, and that's even an ace. So NoLimit Proxiz strike first in this one. And that was a very impressive team round, with all three of them ending up in the top 3 positions. So round 2, here we go. Let's see actually what Poker can do. He had a bit of a slower start, so didn't really put himself in a good position to get one of the top places for his team. But as I say, that all of the NoLimit Proxiz players are down straight away, and this is a completely different story than what we've seen in round 1. Now this is almost a free round for 4 Wheels, and they will take this with open arms. All 3 red players are dropping down in the very start, and this makes life a lot easier for 4 Wheels. Right now they're all driving together. They know they don't have to do anything special. All they have to do is survive all of these speed checks, just not DNF. There is no way they can drop this on pure pace anymore. So only the ending jump remaining right now. This should be no problem for them either. Very safe jumps right in the middle of the finish, and straight away they even up the score to 1-1. So a bit of a weird run there. The whole red team dying straight away, and making it very easy for 4 Wheels to tie up the score. So we're going live with round 3 here. And Nod catches so much of the grass there, will continue to drop down in speed. However, it's still fine. There's Poker again with a bit of a weird line, will end up in last as a result. Tries to attack with the inside. His teammate Asa is at the back as well. So again, looking promising for Proxiz early on, and Karian with a big mistake there. So it's a 2v3, but all 3 red players are in the lead. So Poker and Asa will have to pull something special here if they want to come back in this round. Flyer and Nod just keep creating a bigger gap with every turn. Let's see, will all the players survive this jump? Yes, they do, and Asa is the one making another mistake. So Poker right now needs to win the round and hope everyone else from the red team will just fail. Flyer there goes very wide on the right, but manages to survive, and it's a 1-2 for Proxiz, so they will take a 2-1 lead. A very impressive time as well from Flyer, dropping a 0.7. And it's gonna be really hard for the other team to keep up if there's a player setting the pace that high. So let's see, maybe 4 Wheels can tie up the score straight away, just like they did last time. This time all 6 players with a decent start. However, just as I say, the Flyer is the one making the mistake, and we're left with a 2v3 here, and blue team doing much better in this round. But just as I say that, again, Karian with a mistake. They're very similar to the one in the previous round. So it's a 2v2 up top, with Flyers pretty much securing that 5th place. Let's see if his teammates can do the job up front. Still super close in this 2v2 anyone's game. Who is gonna get the little bump there? It looks like it's not, so that allows Asa to go up in the lead. But Panda is trying to attack. This could be crucial in terms of who's going to win the round, because 4 wheels need 1 and 3. Looks like it will be 1 and 3. It's actually 1 and 4. Because Nod overtakes Poker at the very end, and that is actually the crucial overtake for this round, which swings the round in favor of NoLimit Proxiz by the 1 point, and there was only 0.003 of a second between the two. So very late drama there in that round, and Nod was just able to clinch that crucial 3rd place and swing the round in his team's favor. So into the next round we go right now. 3-1 for NoLimit Proxiz. They've started off very well. And the same thing keeps happening in this round. This time it's Panda who's already far away in the lead, with Poker and S, the closest 4 wheels players who are trying to attack him, trying to make something happen. Flyer is in the mix for that 2nd place. If he can secure that, then it's all over in this round for 4 wheels. Is anyone going to get the bounce here? No, everyone survives from the top players here, so this is still kind of open. Let's see if a Flyer can just secure that 3rd place. It's definitely going to be a red round. Whereas Nod is in 5th, so it's going to be enough anyway for Proxiz. Again, only 1 point of a difference here. But this time it's Panda carrying his team into another round win. So Panda right now is even in the lead of the individual scoreboard, going strong with those 21 points. Now let's see if he can keep it up. So no mistakes in the start, even though it's Acid dropping down just a bit in speed. The red team do have all the top 3 positions, but just as I say, that Nod is dropping down in speed a lot, so 4 wheels will be able to attack him. Very similar story to the previous round. It's Panda in the lead again, but this time Karin might be just a bit closer there. He just needs to overtake the 1st place, and Panda with a mistake, so all of a sudden this is looking very promising for 4 wheels. Flyer needs to make something happen here. Flyer needs 1st here, and Nod needs 3rd. It's still very much possible, but Nod may be a bit too wide there. So Karin in 1st, Poker in 3rd. This should be enough for 4 wheels. Us is even in 4th, so no problem for them in this round, and this will be a 4-2. Still plenty of time for 4 wheels to make the comeback. So into round 7 we go. Is this the start of a very nice comeback story for 4 wheels? Let's check who's in last. Looks like it's one of the red players. It's a Flyer actually, so Flyer needs some catching up to do, as he does take a bit of a wider line there, going for some speed as his teammate Nod drops down as well. Super tight round, but just as I say, the Flyer with a mistake there, so it's a 2v3 up top. As and Karin holding strong in the lead. Panda is maybe able to attack him, but he goes a bit wide, so we'll have to release and drop down in speed. It's looking very grim for Team Red, because Nod makes a mistake as well, so it's only Panda left there against 3 blue players, but it seems like we have a mistake there from one of the 4 wheels players, and it's Karin who's out of the map. So this could be a draw actually. This should be 10-10 with Karin not being able to finish. And that's gonna cost his team the round win here. It looked like they had it in the bag, but Karin must have failed the jump there. And that's spelled the end for his team's hopes of winning another round. Let's see if he's gonna bounce back straight away from that. Surely cannot feel good knowing that he's just cost his team the round win. But he doesn't seem to be phased too much, as he's doing quite well in this round among the top. So super close round this one. Everyone is very close to each other, between 0.15 of a second. And just in one turn Karin drops down so much. 3 red players are up ahead, so it's looking promising for NoLimit Proxiz. It's only Asa who is trying to attack the first place. Now, will everyone survive the jump? Looks like they do this time. Karin is trying to advance through the player field, but Flyer is just so far ahead in the first place. And If it stays like this, it's gonna be a blue round anyway, as Nod is only in fourth. Nod needs to get third here, and Nod only gets fourth. So this is gonna be a point for Four Wheels. Super close round once again. With a Panda, they're dropping down to 6th near the end. And that meant Four Wheels were able to clinch the round. So Four Wheels, little by little, they are coming back. And let's see if they can fully complete a comeback. There's still a lot of this sub-match left to be played. There is a tennis mode involved as well. So let's see what happens in this one. It's Asse at the back, but oof. Two players completely get deleted from the round, but I think Panda has recovered much better than Karyan, who came to a complete stop. So it's a 2v2 up top with Panda pretty much guaranteed 5th place, even though he is a miles behind as well. His two teammates are far in front. Right now nobody gets the bounce, so it's looking promising for NoLimit Proxiz. They have a 0.1 lead right now. Both of them survived that turn, so only the ending jump remaining. Should be no problem because of how big of a lead they have, and they don't even need Panda because they already secure another point for themselves. So 5-3, another kind of a close round, with one player from each side getting destroyed in that right turn, where we've actually seen quite a few mistakes already. Notably from Karyan, who I think has made a 2 or 3 there. So I think he's the one who really needs to step it up. He is the last in individual points, so I'm sure his team will be looking to him to maybe mount another comeback. So right now Panda a bit at the back together with Asse. No big mistakes as of yet. Everyone trying to maybe go a bit safer in that turn, knowing how dangerous it is. So 3 red players there fighting for the lead together with Karyan. Asse is still at the back, so Karyan might need a bit help from Poker there if he wants to win this round. But on the other hand, Poker is just dropping it down further and further, not with a bit of a bounce, so might give a chance to Asse to come back. Karyan is trying to win the round, so Asse needs to get third here. This is the battle we want to watch. It's gonna be Asse versus Nod for the third place. Who's gonna get third? It looks like Nod with a more inside line, but Asse will clinch it, and there will be a round for Four Wheels. Another super close one, and looks like actually Asse didn't even need to get third because the Panda dropped down to 6th. So 2 very close 1v1s there, and both of those going in favor of Four Wheels. So they are up to or down 5-4, but it's not looking as bad as it did a couple of rounds ago. Into the next one we go. No mistakes at the start. All the players still very close, but as I say that, it's Nod who's kind of losing ground right now. Nod is definitely out of the fight for first place in this one, so Poker there crashes on the left, and again now needs to rely on his teammates to get first and third here at least, which is exactly what they're doing right now. Both Karyan and Asse are in the lead. Can they just keep it together right now? They need to stay where they are. Oh, Karyan, they're very close, and Karyan, he got this Asse as well. What is going on? Karyan there with the slowdown going over the little black part, and Asse with a similar mistake, I guess. Both of them with the DNF, and that's just complete carnage for Four Wheels in that one section. That means right now that NoLimit Proxiz are 6-4 up. They need just one more point to get the first 2-pointer. What a wacky round that was. So it's looking very promising for the red guys right now. Lots of pressure on the Four Wheels. Can they come back right now? It's now or never, really. They definitely do not want to be 2 points down straight away. So it's not this time with a mistake early in the start, giving a chance to NoLimit Proxiz maybe. So let's see if Four Wheels can take full advantage of it. Poker and Panda a bit at the back, so it's looking very promising for Four Wheels. Only Flyer up top, so Flyer needs to get first, Panda needs to get third. It's not looking good for him, but you never know what's gonna happen in this section. This time both Asse and Karyan do survive, so it's looking amazing right now for the blue team. Panda is way too far behind to tackle that third place, so Flyer goes so wide there, but it's probably not gonna be enough for first place. That is the 5th point on board for 4 wheels. They need one more to force tennis mode and make this even more interesting than it already is. So second chance here for NoLimit Proxiz to just close it out and not drag it out more than they really want. Let's see if they can do it right now. So Nol goes a bit wider, but Poker eats so much grass that he's gonna be a bit behind right at the start. Cardian there also goes wide, will drop down a bit, so it's looking alright right now for the red team as Cardian touches. This is the chance that Proxiz are waiting for. One already down, but Flyer goes down, and now it's the question, who's gonna have more speed out of those two? Looks like Cardian is gonna be in 5th there. But his teammates aren't doing that great. Nod and Panda are in 1st and 2nd. They need to keep at least 1st and 3rd here. Can everyone survive the jump here? Nobody gets the bounce at the landing. But Asa and Poker are trying to challenge here. So a Panda needs to get 3rd here. Cardian is in 5th. Panda needs to get 3rd. Can he do it? Poker with a more inside line. This should be Poker. No, Panda overtakes him at the very end. And this is the end of the sub-match. Amazing risk there at the end by Panda. He just had more speed even though he had the wider line. And this is 7-5 for NoLimit Proxiz. What a fitting end to an already exciting sub-match. And NoLimit Proxiz take a 2-0 lead overall after map number 1. So this might just be the end of the warm-up. Let's see, it's gonna be Chiller side versus Feed for this 1v1. Let's see, both players of course making it through the full speed start. Right now Chiller side with a bit of a better line, so Feed drops down a bit. Already 0.1 now, needs to adjust his rift there, so Chiller side is looking pretty at the start of the round. Feed is trying to come back over this kind of a long stretch now. Let's see, both players no problem through the triangle, but then Feed clips it and gives the run to Chiller side, who knows he's quite far ahead. He's got an advantage that's bigger than a 2nd, so he doesn't have to risk anything. He can go very safe, very wide lines here. Can't even afford to release if he messes up one of the lines. So no problem for him, and as I said, this end isn't that difficult when you don't have to risk. So Chiller side does just that. And wins round 1 with 54.6. Which is quite a decent time actually. So 1-0 there for 4 wheels. Chiller side looking rock solid in that round. Let's see if a Feed can strike back straight away. This time he gets a bit of a better start, so he is within Chiller side at this point. Super close at the start, no mistakes. Feed maybe is trying too hard in that section, but manages to survive. Both players are still inside of each other going through that triangle. Feed has a bit more speed going through that full speed section. So Feed is able to create a bigger gap for himself, now over 0.1 even. Who's not gonna touch the grass. It looks like both players do it, but Feed with a much better angle going out of it. So Feed is now over 0.2 ahead. It's looking very promising for him. Chiller side is trying to attack. Can he make something happen in the end? But I think Feed is just way too far ahead. And that's gonna be 1-1. Feed driving an even faster time than Chiller side did in run 1. So clearly Feed isn't a mess mentally. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's not gonna be mad at himself for making that mistake in round 1. And he is able to tie up the score straight away. So round 3, here we go. Feed with a slightly better start than Chiller side. So Chiller side has some catching up to do. Both players going very close here to the wall. Important to carry a lot of speed. But let's see who's gonna do this. Well, oh, Chiller side carries so much speed through there, but then makes a mistake on the left. Bit of a weird one. He actually survived the tougher part and then made a mistake, pretty much giving Feed a free round. So this time it's Feed who's got a massive lead. All he has to do is just not crash. Has over 2 seconds now. He's well aware of that. He knows he only has to get himself into the finish. Doesn't need to do anything special. And wins this one with a high 54. So some good decision making there from Feed. Knew exactly what he was needed to do. And did exactly that. So right now, NoLimit Proxiz are in the lead in the 1v1. We are of course playing till 7 still, so loads of time for Chiller side to catch up and rectify the mistakes he's made already. Now into this round we go. Again, super close in the start, no one clips. But just as I say that, Chiller side with a huge mistake, and the Feed again does have a bit of an easy ride from here all the way up until the finish. He's got almost a 3-second advantage. Avoids getting any airtime here, which sometimes could prove to be a problem if you're pushing it over your limit. So Feed with it. Quite of a nice landing there. No problem really, goes over the sausage block. Can't afford to release even if he wants to be a bit safer. So another very safe hand. And the win with another high 54. So right now Chiller side making all the mistakes here and gifting these rounds to Feed, who only has to survive the start. So it's 3-1 and Chiller side really needs to wake up. He needs to go back to his round 1 level. Needs to drive at least those times, I think. Like 0.6s and maybe even better if he wants to have a say in this 1v1. Tries to go for that inside line. Feed will have more speed going for the outside one. Now this is the crucial turn. Who's gonna have more speed over this stretch? Looks like it's about even. Chiller side doesn't make a mistake here on the left. So it's still super close to this point. Feed is trying to attack and manages to do so. Chiller side drops down a bit. Both of them avoid the grass. Who's gonna get a better landing? They're still inside of each other. Who's gonna do this better? Looks like it will be Chiller side, but Feed is still super close. Both players inside of each other. Chiller side does that turn a bit worse than Feed, so he will have to attack. What an inside try there, but it just doesn't work. So a fair play to Chiller side for trying. He was a bit behind. Tried to go for the full inside line there on the left, but maybe pushed it a bit over the edge and just wasn't able to survive. Decent attempt though, not like he had much of a choice. He was gonna lose that one anyway. So 4-1 right now for Feed, and it's turning into a bit of a rout at this point. Can Feed just keep this up and put his team in a great position to win, as Chiller side there with a big mistake, and he's miles behind. So this is exactly what we've seen in rounds 2 and 3. Feed just needs to get himself over that finish line, not do anything stupid, not take any unnecessary risks. He will know, of course, how big of a lead he has. Again, no problem there with the jump, because that's pretty much the last part where he could have made a big mistake. Or rather, a mistake that's big enough for a Chiller side to catch up. Oh, he had to release there a lot. Maybe made that ending a bit more interesting than it should have been. But either way, he gets the 5th point on board in this 1v1. And it's looking very promising for NoLimit Proxiz. They're gonna be in an amazing spot if Feed is able to keep this up. Or if a Chiller side keeps making these mistakes and just giving rounds to Feed. So this time Chiller side is trying to attack. I think he's mad a bit at this point. He knows he needs to seriously step it up and have this sub-match under his control if he wants to put his team in a much better position. So Feed this time is 0.1 behind, but he is trying to catch up a bit. He did have more speed over the stretch. He's trying to attack, and yet again, oh, maybe this time actually pushes it a bit over the limit. I thought he would make it, but Feed with a DNF. And this time it's finally Chillerside's time to win a round. After Feed winning 5 in a row, this time he managed to put enough pressure on Feed, who was required to maybe try a bit too hard, got airtime, and that completely messed up his line for that section, resulting in a DNF. And Feed not able to finish, with a Chillerside finally getting another point on board. So let's see if a Feed can strike back straight away, or if this might just play on his mind a bit. We saw him bounce back in round 2, so of course it's looking like he might do just that again. He hasn't made a mistake in the beginning yet, which is not what we can say for Chillerside, but this time around it's super close yet again at this point. Chillerside I think has a little bit more speed over this stretch, so Feed will drop down a bit by around the 10th. Even less than that actually, so super close here. Feed will try to attack, tries to go for the inside lines, but maybe touches the grass, unlike a Chillerside, who's gonna get the better landing. Chillerside is staying ahead at this point, so Feed needs to make something happen in the end. He will have to get an insane end if he wants to catch up this much, so Chillerside just needs to save, and this will be another round for 4 wheels. With a nice time of 54.59. So we can clearly see that Chillerside does have the pace, and anytime he kind of pushes Feed in that first half of the map, he's looking very good to win the round. But Feed was just winning those rounds when Chillerside was giving it to him on a silver platter. So as long as Chillerside can kind of survive the first half of the map, it's looking very good for him. As it is in this round again, is he gonna have a better angle for this? So we'll stay just a bit ahead. Can he get more speed over the stretch here again? Looks like he can, because Feed is dropping down. Of course, he is still within striking distance, no doubt. Feed usually tries to attack around about here, goes lower there, and manages to do so. So Chillerside right now in P2 needs to strike back straight away, but Feed is only extending his advantage. What a brilliant section that was. So Chillerside 0.1 behind, needs to risk the end. Feed with a much better line there, and Chillerside just cannot do anything there. Feed winning it with a 54.51 and puts himself in a sub-match point position. So just one more point needed, and they will at least secure the draw in this match overall. Of course, they need to win if they want to get second, but this means that they only have to win one of the remaining sub-matches if they want to secure that second place overall. So let's go into the next round. Chillerside cannot afford to make a mistake anymore. Chillerside needs to drive like a man possessed at this point. Doing very well in this round, manages to avoid all the mistakes in the start, and I think he even has more speed over this stretch here. So it's looking very promising for him as long as he can keep it together. And we have seen Feed come back at this point. Feed will definitely try again to catch up. It's around a 0.15 of a difference right now, and Feed is coming back. He has so much more speed. It's all gonna be in this landing. Chillerside makes a mistake, and this should be over and out. This should be around for Feed, because when you don't have to risk, this end isn't that difficult, which is exactly what Feed does. Some good decision making there, and that is gonna be a round for Feed and the sub match for Feed. So when this timer counts down, we're gonna be starting with the 2v2. Gonna be Nevo and the Carian versus Mi4 and the Flyer. This just might be the crucial sub-match. Both teams absolutely have to win this one. If NoLimit Proxiz win, the match is over and they get second overall, but if 4 Wheels win, they are still alive and fighting to clinch second place themselves. So into the first round we go, and Mi4 there holding the lead very strong right now, but his teammate Flyer is in last. Right now looking like a draw, but Flyer I think has so much speed there and is catching up to Nevo and Carian. Mi4 already 0.15 ahead, now over 0.2, so it's gonna be between a Flyer and the 2 4 Wheels players. If Flyer can just get third, this will be a red point, but Nevo is just trying to fight back. Right now it is a red round. Mi4 is dropping down a bit, but his lead was just so big that it doesn't really matter. So Flyer needs to get third here. It's Nevo versus Flyer for that third place. Karin will get second, but Nevo there. I mean, he had to risk it, so can't really blame him for that effort. So that is gonna be already a 1-0 for the red team. Nevo there pushed into a huge risk attempt in the end. It didn't work out, and well done by Flyer, who was able to sustain the pressure from both the Four Wheels players and clinch that crucial second place. So once again, Mi4 is in first. Both the blue players are a bit behind. Of course, this does not have to mean anything in the grand scheme of things, as they are close enough to make an attack. As Mi4 there crashes into the CP, so Flyer just needs to get first here if he wants to save his teammate. Nevo is trying to attack Flyer yet again. Could we see the battle between the same two cars? Barely keeps grip there, manages to survive. Flyer there eats so much grass that leaves around in favor of Four Wheels. So both of them are in the top two right now. Flyer just needs to try a bit too hard, I think. He wants to make something happen. Both the blue players will survive the end, and this will be a 1-1. So Four Wheels showing how good they are in this map. This time one of their players is driving at 0.6. They know they absolutely have to win this one. And the Mi4, they are touching the CP. Really tipped the round in their favor. So round 3, here we go. No draws as of yet, but the rounds have been very close. Nevo maybe with a bit of a sloppy start there, so we'll drop down a bit. Mi4 is having such strong starts here, putting a lot of pressure on the other three just to keep up with him. So Nevo is trying to catch up to Flyer there, manages to do so, but Karin is in the lead at this point, so it's looking like another Four Wheels round. Flyer is very close to Nevo, so this just might be the battle we need to keep our eye on. Right now players split into two 1v1 fights. However, players from different colors are winning their individual battles, so it's looking like a draw. Nevo and Flyer very close to each other. Nevo needs to attack here if he wants to win the round for his team. Flyer drops down so bad that Nevo with an amazing end is able even to overtake Mi4, and Karin wins the round with a 54.58. And the Four Wheels get the second point on board. Looking very solid on this one. Flyer looking just like he's lacking a bit of pace. So maybe he needs Mi4 to get those first places. And then he's gonna back him up with third places. Or a second, but Four Wheels are doing very well so far. Right now Karin with a bit of a different line, but that will give him more speed than Flyer. So he's able to climb back into third place. Nobody crashes in the CP, but Flyer is 0.1 behind third place at this point already. So he's relying on Mi4 to win the round. All of them keep the grip in the downhill. Mi4 still holding strong in that first place. Looking like a draw at this point, so one of the blue guys just needs to make an attempt and try to attack, but Mi4 drops down himself, so maybe Karin can win the round here. Flyer is coming back a bit, but it's still looking like a Four Wheels round. Nevo is dropping down as well, so this should be a draw in the end. What a roller coaster of a round that was, and the position shifting left and right. Super fast round as well, with all the players between 0.5 and 0.7. In the end, only a draw, and nobody makes any profit off of it. So into the next one we go. Karin with a bit of a slower start there. He can surely make up this much, as his teammate is in the mix there for first place. Karin unfortunately keeps dropping down more and more, so at this point it's already at 0.2. Might need a mistake from one of the players to be able to catch up and win the round. However, the red team is looking very solid in this round. Both of them are in the lead. So both Nevo and Karin will need a massive comeback in the second half of the map. It's over 0.1 of a gap at this point, but Mi4 touches and that just shifts everything around. Nevo with a bit of a slower turn, so Karin versus Flyer there for first place. Who's gonna win this one? Karin needs to win in order to get the point. Flyer needs to force the drop, but Flyer crashes. And this will be another point on board for 4 wheels. So again, decent attempt by Flyer, I'd say. Absolutely had to get that first place if he wanted to get the draw for Proxiz. But just didn't really work out. Don't think he can have any regrets over doing the end the way he did. So right now 4 wheels only 2 points away from getting their first submatch point of the day. Let's see if they can close it out as soon as possible. As this time around it's Nevo who's a bit behind, and that's a massive mistake. So maybe this is the round where Proxiz finally get another point on board. Both of them are in the lead, but we've seen them drop leads like this. We've seen Miquacho make mistakes. We've seen a Fleur just losing on pure pace to one of the 4 wheels players. So Karin absolutely has to get first place here. Miquacho has an almost 0.2 of a lead. Karin crashes Miquacho with a horrible line there, but manages to save it. So as a result, it's actually Flyer who's in first, Miquacho in second. It all plays out very well for Proxiz. Bit of a madness there, but in the end it's Flyer winning with a 54.67. And I think Miquacho can just be happy that he was able to put everything under control and get second place in the end. Even saying that one part is killing him, which we've definitely seen. He's made mistakes there before. And feels like he's usually first going up into that sausage block section, and then he either drops down or just outright crashes. So let's see if he can stabilize himself, and that would surely benefit the red team a lot. Because 4 wheels still have an advantage of 3-2. So in this round, Nevo and Karin both a bit behind. Nevo very close there on the left, but survives that scare, and is still within maybe a chance of making something happen this round. However, both red players are doing very well, and Karin crashes, so this should be a red round for sure. Nevo is a 0.2 behind, so Nevo absolutely has to win the round at this point. Miquacho this time doing it very well. Doesn't drop down at all, and Nevo needs an absolute miracle here in the end. Can he do it? He needs both of them to crash. I think, oh, Flyer crashes. What's gonna happen now? Can Flyer make the finish? Oh, Flyer flips around. Turtle. Whoa. Whoa. That's just a wall. But at least he kept the draw. I mean, one thing I have to say, that's an amazing save. That's just a sick save from Flyer. I thought he was fully dead and he was gonna end up on his back. But fair play to Flyer, who crashes yet again. And we're going into another round here with Miquacho versus Nevo and Karin. I think Flyer might just get last in this one, so Miquacho is required to get first if he wants to at least get the draw. And Nevo dropping down a bit, so it's up to Karin, I think, to overtake Miquacho and get a point for 4 wheels. We know Miquacho is a bit slower in the sausage block there up ahead, so Karin will have a chance to overtake. He is attacking already. Now this might just be the crucial part of the map. Karin going a bit too inside, so we'll actually allow Miquacho to get a nice lead there. So this is looking actually quite promising for the red team, because Nevo has made a mistake and allowed Flyer to get up into third, but this is super close actually between Flyer and Nevo, who gonna get third, and it's Flyer. So in the end the round actually goes in favor of Proxiz. While we were watching the fight for first, it was actually Nevo who made a crucial mistake, allowed Flyer to come back into the round and back up Miquacho in order to get the third point on board. So NoLimit Proxiz are making a comeback here. Looked pretty grim at one point, but right now they're looking pretty solid, and this is such an even match. This one just might go down to the wire of a 5-4. So Miquacho looking very good in first place, maybe a bit of a too wide of a line there, manages to save it, so it's a Nevo in last. Nevo needs to attack Flyer here, because this time he's relying on Karin too much. Now onto the crucial section there for Miquacho. Karin again so close on the left, will allow the red players to make an even bigger grab for themselves, and Nevo with a bit of a sloppy angle there will need to release. So everything is shifting around in the sand, but Flyer should win the round for his team. And yes, the comeback is almost completed, and NoLimit Proxiz at this point are on the match point. If they win this one, it's all over. And they're gonna get second in Division 1. So it's really now or never for Four Wheels. They need to win 2 rounds, or at least get some draws in order to stabilize their minds and be able to make the final push. Because they absolutely have to win this sub-match. Looking decent for him as Nevo is in the lead. Karian is trying to back him up. So right now, top 2 for them, but Miquacho and Fleur are super close to them. This is still anyone's round. Nevo looking very solid in this one. Flyer will need to attack here maybe. Oh, Miquacho barely keeps the grip. So everything is shifting around there in that left corner. So right now it's Karian in the lead, but it's still looking like a draw. Flyer super close there on the inside. Manages to survive. Looking like a blue round at this point. It's gonna be Flyer crashing there, so Nevo just needs to keep steady and not crash. Karian will win it. Nevo gets second. And we are onto a 4-4 situation. This is it. Will we see a draw, or will we see a resolution of this match maybe? Will this match get resolved right here, right now? Can NoLimit Proxiz win it? Or will a Four Wheels get back into it and force everything onto the final sub-match? So good start for all the players, no mistakes there. Nevo, nice line there. Super close, this one has to be the closest yet. All the players are within 200ths of a second. No mistakes, Flyer very wide there, but manages to survive. He has so much speed there over the stretch. On the other hand, Karian is the one dropping down. Karian will need to try and attack, but Nevo there just manages to adjust his line in order not to get some airtime. So right now it's the red team a bit in front. Miquacho and Flyer both in 1 and 2. It's all gonna come down to the end. Who's gonna get a better line? Flyer crashes. Will this be a draw? Miquacho needs to get first. Miquacho, can he get first here? Miquacho trying to overtake Nevo. Miquacho, no, it's Nevo winning it. And they actually force it into the final sub-match. So Nod, Panda and Sebi versus Karian, Kerberos and Ace. Nod already making a mistake. Putting his team in a bit of trouble there. Because the blue team has the massive advantage, and wow, Panda with a mistake as well, so already a huge chance here for Four Wheels to start this sub-match off on the right foot. Kerberos is in first. It's only Sebi really trying to make something happen for his team. Nod is way too far behind, Panda as well. My hotkeys are completely messed up, and Ace right now is in fourth. Only Sebi in the mix with the blue players. Don't expect much to happen in the remainder of the round, because Four Wheels know that they only have to save it. Sebi even there with weird slowdown. So Ace having a bit of trouble there in the end, but both of his teammates in second and first, so him finishing does actually not even matter. So Four Wheels take the first point in this final 3v3 sub-match. Looking very strong. Two of them driving low point threes. Already showing Proxiz what they are going to be required to do if they want to make something happen. But as I say, the 2 mistakes already. What are they doing? This is another pretty much 3 rounds just for Four Wheels. Both Sebi there and forgot who's playing. Sebi and the Panda with early mistakes. So this should be another very easy round for Four Wheels. Again, Karian and Kerberos looking very solid. They don't have to do anything special. Ace is just having a nice time there in fourth. All he needs to get himself over that finish line. Doesn't matter if a Nod wins this one. I'm not sure they're gonna care a lot. So Nod with the Sebi mistake, I would say. And this is another ace for Four Wheels with Karian with another point 3. Karian ready. Everyone else ready, and we are ready to continue this match. So 4 wheels 2-0 up, and NoLimit Proxiz definitely need to come back as soon as possible. However, this time it's Karian with an early mistake, so maybe this is the chance they were waiting for. Maybe this is the chance that red team absolutely have to take advantage of. Let's see, Panda right now is in 5th. Kerberos is just looking rock solid on this map. So the others might need to attack Ace here. Ace was just backing up his team. He wasn't looking that fast in the first couple of rounds, so maybe this is the chance for the red team to attack. Kerberos with some dodgy lines there allows Nod to come back. So this is still anyone's round. Kerberos manages to stay in first. Nod and Panda are very close to him. Panda is having a bit of trouble with lag still. So Kerberos in first, Sebi there in 5th. This is super close between 1 and 5, less than 0.15 of a second between them. Right now it is still a red round because Nod is in first. Can Nod just stay there? Ooh, Kerberos with a mistake, and will be the first point on board for Proxiz. Finally, here we go again. Everyone is ready, hopefully no more bugs. Everyone survives the start, and we might be in for a banger of a round now, as everyone gets it nice. In the very start, it looks like Team Blue is doing fine with Kerberos in the lead, Ace very close to him, Karian in 5th. Right now Panda is a bit behind, but it's only 0.1, so it's still fine. Panda seems to be lagging just a bit, and he's dropping down further and further, but Nod makes a mistake as well, so another huge chance for Team Blue. Kerberos dropping down, but Ace and Karian fighting for the first place with Sebi. Oh, Panda just gets deleted from the round, and this is now definitely gonna be a blue point because it's only Sebi left and only 2 red players are able to finish. Should be no problem there in the end as Karian clips the finish. Still fine as he bounces up over the finish line. And that's another point on board for 4 wheels. They're 4 away from getting the draw in this match, and the 2nd place overall. So Panda, they're very tight on the left. Let's see if NoLimit Proxiz can bounce back straight away. Kerberos again, he always has these 6 starts. As in Nod clips the CP, can't even make this. That's gonna be very unfortunate because he barely makes it. But Kerberos and Ace with a double mistake there. So only Karian left up ahead against Panda and Sebi. Nod managed to overtake both of those. So this is looking very good for Team Proxiz. Karian has almost a 0.2 of a lead. But then there are 3 red players right behind him, so this round is definitely all over the place. No really close fights. So as long as it stays like this will be another point on board for Team Red. Karian holding up nicely in the lead with another 0.3 from him. But both of his teammates making quite big mistakes, and even allowing Nod to come back and get 4th. So Karian is just looking amazing in this sub-match. He already has 25 points on the individual scoreboard. But Kerberos, who we've seen, who we know can be extremely fast, he's just making too many mistakes and is allowing NoLimit Proxiz to come back. Again, not with an early mistake, so it puts a lot of pressure on his 2 teammates. This time around, both Ace and Kerberos do survive. Sebi with a bit of a dodgy line there. Gets some airtime, so will drop down. Right now, 4 wheels have all the top 3 places. As I said, Ace is dropping down a bit, but Kerberos and Karian are quite far away in the lead. So this is going to be the crucial turn here. Who's going to keep the more speed over the stretch here? Looks like Kerberos is dropping down. Sebi has more speed. Sebi needs to attack here. Sebi absolutely has to get this first place if he wants to do something for his team, but Karian is just too far ahead. Panda is trying to attack, and out of nowhere Panda gets 2nd actually. But that is not gonna be enough because he needed 3rd. So Panda there with an insane ending. But it's still nowhere near enough because 4 wheels get their 4th point on board. Into the next round we go. So Panda with an early mistake. This usually spells disaster for Team 4 wheels, but I think Kerberos just... what's happening? Not sure entirely what's going on here, why he just got deleted there. But this is a 2v2 up top with SN Cardin versus Sebi and Not. Panda is very far behind, but we know that Kerberos isn't gonna finish this round. So it's vital here that Cardin and Ase get at least 1st and 3rd in order to get the draw. Sebi and Not are trying their best. If one of them gets 1st, this is definitely gonna be a round for Proxiz. So Not is looking very solid, even Sebi is catching up to Cardin here. It's all gonna depend on this end here. Ase trying to attack, but Sebi is I think too far behind it. And they do actually get 1st and 3rd. So as long as Panda finishes, this is only gonna be a draw. Kerberos there with a bit of a weird mistake. So again, it's actually him and Panda who are quite far behind in the individual scoreboard. And they need to step it up a bit if they want to help their respective teams. Kerberos in this round is doing just that. Karin is very close to him as well. Not hasn't made a big mistake this time around in the start, but Sebi has to release so much, so he will drop down all the way back to 6th. Looking very promising for Team Blue because they have all their players up ahead, but then Ase completely messes up that left turn and will drop down all the way to last. So Panda is trying to attack both Kerberos and Karian. If they hold on to those positions, it's gonna be round for 4 wheels, so Panda needs to make something happen. I think Panda needs to get 1st here, because Not, oh no, just dies there into the abyss. And this should be around 4 wheels because Kerberos has 1st, Karian can't even get 2nd here. So they're 2 rounds away from getting the draw, and Kerberos has driven a .13. That is an incredible match time. So Kerberos pretty much 1st or last for him. NoLimit Proxiz are running out of chances here. They need to start winning some of these rounds, otherwise it's gonna be all over for him. Panda's so close there on the left. To that CP, but manages to survive. This time Team Red doing well in the start. Kerberos super close on the left. I think Kardin is a bit behind. Kardin has made a mistake, so it's up to his 2 teammates to win this round for Team Blue. Sebi and Not looking very strong, Not super close on the right, but manages to survive. Kerberos is looking to clinch that 1st place away from Sebi, but Kerberos with a mistake, so this should be a round for NoLimit Proxiz. Sebi and Not both 1st and 2nd, only Ase really trying something from Team Blue. So both of them can afford to go very safe in the end, as they do, and that is gonna be 5-3 right now for 4 wheels. So Proxiz is not giving up yet. They can still come back from this, but I think they will have to hope for Karian and Kerberos maybe to make mistakes like that. We've definitely seen that Karian and Kerberos in particular are the fastest players here, so it only depends if they can just get themselves to the finish line driving that pace. So this time around looking very good for him. Karian close on the left but manages to survive. Ase is coming back as well, he has more speed over that little stretch. But all 3 red players are looking very solid still. Karian goes for the low jump, which means the red team will have more speed. This is by far the closest round we've seen yet, and this is anyone's game, definitely. So all 3 red players are near the top, with fighting with Karian. Kerberos is super close to them as well. It's all gonna get decided in the end. Let me just find Kerberos. This is gonna be a 6-man battle here in the end. Who is gonna take it? Team Red looking very solid, and it will be actually another round for NoLimit Proxiz, with an incredibly tight round all the way up until the end, where the players were really required to risk, and Proxiz were able to take advantage of it, with Ase crashing and Kerberos having kind of a sloppy end. But anyway, Acid with a bit of a wide start. That's definitely not gonna benefit him. So he's already a point 10 behind, and Karin with a mistake. So this is an amazing chance once again for NoLimit Proxiz. They can't even tie up the score at this point. Let's just see if Kerberos can carry his teammates this time, because Asa is dropping down. He clearly does not have the same pace as his two teammates. Both blue players over that gap, but everyone survives. So at this point it is a round for NoLimit Proxiz. Doesn't really matter if Kerberos stays first if Asa is unable to do anything here. However, Asa is trying his best. He needs to get third here. He knows he needs to, but that's a release there. And he crashes, and that's a DNF, and that is the end in this round for 4 wheels. So, as long as all 3 red players make it to the finish, which they do, this is gonna be a 5-5 tie. And pretty much out of nowhere, NoLimit Proxiz with that comeback. Loads of mistakes coming in from the blue side, which is something we've seen from Panda and Nod in particular in the beginning of the sub match. But now the tables have turned, and it's Team Red who are looking a bit more consistent. Just as I say that, it's Nod who gets the full stop pick there and gives Team Blue a very nice chance of going into the sub match point. Karin and Kerberos looking very solid at the top. Panda is trying to attack. Sebi is there to back him up as well. They need first and third. Right now it's looking extremely unlikely. Let's see who's gonna get more speed out of this. All of them make it through. Still super close. Sebi in 5th with a 0.15 behind. Panda is able to attack. Kerberos is dropping down into Sebi territory, so Sebi can overtake him. Who's gonna get more speed over the free wheelie section? All of them super close on the right. Sebi gets so much speed, so it's up to Panda here, I think, to win the round. But Karin just might be too far ahead, and Karin and Asa both get 1 and 2, which means 4 wheels are into the sub-match point. Only 1 more needed for them to get the draw in this match and get the 2nd place in Division 1. This is it. NoLimit Proxiz were in this exact situation on the previous sub-match. They needed to win just 1 more, but they were unable to do it. Can 4 wheels now do it? No mistakes here in the start. Not super close there to the wall on the right, but manages to survive. Panda also wiggling a bit left and right. But still everyone is doing fine. Except Asa, however, who hasn't made an early mistake. So maybe we will actually see tennis mode here. Kerberos and Karin in 1 and 2. Asa needs to rely on his 2 teammates to win this one for him, as Karin is dropping down a bit. Now this could be the key fight here. Karin versus Nod for that 3rd place. Karin is trying to fight back. Kerberos is so far up ahead, almost the 0.15 right now, and now even 0.2. So it's gonna be Nod and Sebi versus Karin. Kerberos is dead. What is happening here? Had an amazing lead, but just deletes himself from the round in that freewheel section. And NoLimit Proxiz actually tie up the score. So we are gonna go into tennis mode, which is nothing less than this match deserves. Both of these teams desperate to get that 2nd place overall, and we can clearly see it. So now someone needs to win the 2 rounds, otherwise we might be stuck here for a very long time, as Karin makes an early mistake. All of the red players manage to survive. Well, let's see if Kerberos and Asa can maybe win this for 4 wheels. Nod, Sebi and Panda all looking very solid right now, so Nod is even in 1st. This is looking very promising for NoLimit Proxiz. We can see completely different lines from the teams there in that section, and I think it's working out much better for Team Red. Nod is in 1st, Sebi is in 2nd, looking amazing right now for him. It's only Asa who's able to attack. Kerberos is so far behind, almost 0.2, Nod super close on the left, but manages to survive. Sebi and Nod 1 and 2, they just need to keep this one together and survive the ending, which means they will go up onto match point. What a story this would be. After throwing away that 2v2, right now it looked super grim for him at one point in this sub-match, and all of a sudden right now they're in the lead for the first time in this 3v3. It's all in their hands now. Can they do it in their first chance? Nobody crashes the start. Kerber super close on the right. He needs to risk it at this point. He has almost nothing to lose. So Kerberos is in the lead, but as with kind of a slower start. Where's Karian? Karian has made a mistake. And it's looking very promising right now for Team Red. Kerberos is in first, but Asa is in fourth. So right now it is a rainbow in favor of a NoLimit Proxiz. Kerberos trying to fight off Nod, but Sebi is also super close. Right now it is a point for NoLimit Proxiz by 1. So this just might be between Panda and Asa. If only I can find him. Oh, Sebi crashes and this could just change everything. Nod versus Kerberos, Panda versus Asa. Who's gonna get the better of them here? Karian manages to get 5th. It's a rainbow in favor of the blue team right now. Nod with a dodgy ending, and wow, we are not gonna see the resolution of this match yet. 4 wheels there tying up the score. Sebi, I think, making that decisive mistake. But then again, it was super close. Just one position change could have changed everything. We are on to 7-7 right now. This is still not over. So 4 wheels stepping up when it matters. And Karian is looking very solid on that individual scoreboard as well. Kerberos again with the fastest start. Looks like he always does that. And Sebi on the other hand is a bit behind. So no mistakes yet in this section. This might just be one of the super close rounds. Panda gets some airtime. Let's see who is going to do this section better. Kerberos and Asa both flying there a bit, but it's fine. They managed to survive. Kerberos is still in first. Asa is dropping down a bit together with Sebi. So this is super close. Players are all within each other. Only Sebi and Asa a bit behind. The rest are still all fighting for first. So Panda versus Kerberos. I think Asa is dropping down a bit too much, but Kerberos and Karian, this should be enough for 4 wheels. Only Panda is up there for Team Red. But Kerberos with a mistake. Could this change anything? No, because Karian and Asa get first and third. So again, another chance for 4 wheels. And this is flipping around so quickly. Karian is just miles ahead in individual points, and Kerberos is miles behind on the other side of things. So I think it's Kerberos who needs to step it up here if he wants to close this one together with his team. Looks like Asa has made a bit of a mistake, just a bit of a sloppy start, and not there. With a much bigger mistake, he actually crashes on the left, so Team Red in a dire position at this point. Will this be the end? Sebi and Panda versus 3 4 wheels players. Karian is holding strong in the first place. Kerberos and Asa are in 3rd and 5th. So it's looking very promising for Team Blue. They just need to survive this free wheelie section. But Kerberos, what is he doing? Same mistake again. He cannot finish. Asa needs to get 3rd here. Asa absolutely has to get 3rd if he wants to get the draw. It's not going to be enough. It's just not going to be enough. And with that DNF from Kerberos, this is going to be a point for NoLimit Proxiz. And it's all tied up yet again. What an incredibly close sub-match. And this just might be going on forever. Into the next round we go. It's all tied up yet again. Kerberos again being that decisive factor, failing that turn for who knows how many times at this point, and giving the round to NoLimit Proxiz. Let's see, no mistakes yet. Is anyone gonna crash here on the left? Looks like Karian will. So Karian quite far behind at this point already, and Sebi has made an even bigger mistake. So it's gonna be Sebi versus Karian for the 5th place, and the rest are gonna fight for first still. So Kerberos, Nod, Asa and the Panda all super close to each other. It's still a rainbow in favor of Team Blue. Kerberos, can he avoid the mistake this time around? It looks like he drops down a bit because he wants to take a safer, but that allows Nod to get first. This is still around for Team Blue, unless Panda can somehow get 3rd. Nod with a very dodgy line there in the end, but Panda just cannot do anything, and I think this Karian in 5th. Yeah, it is a Karian, and that is another chance for 4 wheels, who are now 9-8 up. But this live rankings thing is really annoying. So, another chance for 4 wheels to close this out. Sebi with a super wide start, but managed to avoid crashing at least. So he is still within the mix to maybe even win the round. Karin dropping down together with Sebi. Oh, but we see a mistake there from Nod. Let's see, Karin is still within the group. So his mistake wasn't that big, but Nod is super far behind and will rely on Panda, Sebi and Kerberos making another DNF here. So Kerberos super far ahead. He does not need to risk at this point. Because don't think Panda can catch up this much unless Kerberos allows him to. Seb is in 5th, Panda only in 2nd. It's looking very grim here for the red team. Kerberos survives this time, and could this be the end? Panda is so far behind. Sebi needs to get 3rd here at least. Panda needs to get 1st. Will all blue players die in the end? Looks like Kerberos is having such a horrid time there. But it's just not gonna be enough, and that is a GG. That's gonna be a GG. 4 Wheels take it with a 10-8. Incredible match in the end. They do get the draw in this one, and they do get the overall 2nd place.